Procrastination is a silent thief that robs us of our potential. It sneaks into our lives disguised as harmless delay, convincing us that there's always tomorrow, always another day to start working on our dreams. But here's the truth. Procrastination is not just a bad habit. It's a destructive force that traps us in a cycle of inaction and regret. Every time we choose to put off what truly matters, we're not just wasting time. We're giving away our power, our dreams, and our future. The cycle of procrastination is a vicious one. It begins with a small hesitation, a moment of doubt or distraction. Maybe it's the fear of failure, or the overwhelming nature of the task at hand. Or perhaps it's the comfort of routine that lulls us into complacency. Whatever the reason, we find ourselves postponing action, telling ourselves that we'll get to it later. But later never comes. Instead, we become stuck, paralyzed by our own indecision, as days turn into weeks and weeks into months. Before we know it, our goals seem further away than ever, buried under a mountain of excuses. But here's the good news. The cycle of procrastination can be broken. It's not easy, but it's possible. It requires discipline, self-awareness, and the courage to confront our fears and excuses head-on. It requires us to take control of our minds, to shift our mindset from one of avoidance to one of action. And once we do, we unlock a world of possibilities. A life where we are no longer held back by our own hesitation, but empowered by our ability to take consistent, purposeful action. In this video, we're going to explore the roots of procrastination, why it happens, and how it can be overcome. We'll dive deep into the psychology behind it, unraveling the mental traps that keep us stuck. But more importantly, we'll equip you with practical strategies to break free from the chains of procrastination and take control of your life. Because the truth is, your time is valuable, and your goals are worth fighting for. It's time to stop delaying your dreams and start living the life you've always wanted. The journey begins now. Now that we've identified procrastination as the obstacle it is, the next step is to understand how deeply ingrained it can become in our lives and, more importantly, how we can uproot it. The cycle of procrastination is not just a simple delay. It's a pattern of avoidance that becomes habitual, carving a groove in our daily routines that grows deeper with every postponed task. It's essential to recognize that breaking this cycle isn't just about tackling individual instances of procrastination. It's about reshaping the way we approach our lives, our goals, and our responsibilities. At the core of procrastination lies a complex interplay of emotions, thoughts, and behaviors. Often, it's the fear of failure that holds us back. We convince ourselves that delaying action is a way of avoiding the pain of not living up to our own expectations. But in reality, this delay only amplifies our anxiety and erodes our self-confidence. Each time we procrastinate, we reinforce the belief that we're not capable, not ready, or not deserving of success. This negative self-perception becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, locking us into a cycle where we avoid tasks not just out of laziness, but out of a deep-seated fear of inadequacy. Breaking free from this cycle requires a radical shift in mindset. It's about moving from a place of fear and avoidance to one of empowerment and action. The first step is to confront the underlying emotions that fuel procrastination. This means acknowledging our fears, whether they stem from the enormity of the task at hand, the uncertainty of the outcome, or the pressure to meet high standards. By bringing these fears into the open, we diminish their power over us. We begin to see that procrastination is not a solution to these fears, but a barrier to overcoming them. One effective way to disrupt the cycle of procrastination is to reframe how we view the tasks before us. Instead of seeing them as daunting challenges, we can break them down into smaller, manageable steps. This approach not only makes the task seem less overwhelming, but also gives us a sense of accomplishment as we complete each step. It's the accumulation of these small victories that builds momentum, propelling us forward and making it easier to tackle larger goals. Another powerful strategy is to cultivate a sense of urgency. Procrastination thrives in an environment where there's always tomorrow to fall back on. But what if tomorrow wasn't guaranteed? What if today was our only chance to make progress? By embracing the idea that time is finite, we can shift our focus from delaying action to seizing the moment. This doesn't mean living in a constant state of panic, but rather cultivating a mindset that values the present and recognizes the importance of making the most of the time we have. Accountability is also a key factor in breaking the cycle of procrastination. When we keep our goals and tasks to ourselves, it's easy to let them slide. There's no one to answer to, no external pressure to stay on track. But when we share our goals with others, whether it's a friend, mentor, or accountability group, we introduce a layer of responsibility that can motivate us to take action. Knowing that someone else is aware of our commitments adds a level of seriousness to our intentions, making us more likely to follow through. In addition to these strategies, it's important to recognize the role that our environment plays in either supporting or sabotaging our efforts to break free from procrastination. A cluttered, chaotic environment can be a breeding ground for distraction and delay. Conversely, creating a space that is organized, calm, and conducive to focus can make it easier to dive into tasks and stay on track. This might mean decluttering your workspace, setting clear boundaries around your time, or minimizing distractions like social media or television. Moreover, it's crucial to cultivate self-compassion as we work to break the cycle of procrastination. All too often, when we fall into the trap of procrastination, we beat ourselves up for it. We label ourselves as lazy or unmotivated, which only reinforces negative feelings and perpetuates the cycle. But the truth is, everyone procrastinates at some point, and it doesn't define our worth or our capabilities. By treating ourselves with kindness and understanding, we can shift our focus from self-criticism to self-improvement. This means recognizing that setbacks are a natural part of the process, and that what matters most is our ability to learn from them and keep moving forward. One of the most powerful tools in combating procrastination is developing a deep sense of purpose. When we have a clear understanding of why we're doing something, when we're connected to the larger vision behind our goals, it becomes easier to push through the resistance that leads to procrastination. Purpose gives us the motivation to act, even when the task is challenging or uncomfortable. It reminds us that our efforts are not just about completing a to-do list, but about building a life that aligns with our values and aspirations. To tap into this sense of purpose, it's helpful to regularly revisit our goals and reflect on why they matter to us. This could involve journaling about our long-term vision, creating a vision board, or simply taking a few moments each day to visualize the outcomes we're working toward. By keeping our purpose front and center, we anchor ourselves in something greater than the immediate discomfort of taking action, which can be a powerful antidote to procrastination. It's also important to recognize that breaking the cycle of procrastination is not a one-time event, but an ongoing process. There will be days when the temptation to delay is strong, when the old habits creep back in. But each time we choose action over avoidance, we're reinforcing a new pattern, one that is built on discipline, commitment, and resilience. Over time, these small, consistent choices add up, leading to a transformation in how we approach our tasks, our goals, and our lives. In this journey, it's helpful to celebrate progress, no matter how small. Each step forward is a victory against procrastination, a testament to our ability to change and grow. By acknowledging and rewarding ourselves for these successes, we create positive reinforcement that encourages continued action. This might involve setting milestones and rewarding ourselves when we reach them, or simply taking a moment to appreciate the effort we've put in. Finally, it's worth considering the role of mindfulness in overcoming procrastination. Mindfulness is the practice of bringing our full attention to the present moment without judgment. It allows us to become aware of our thoughts and feelings as they arise, giving us the space to choose how we respond to them. When we practice mindfulness, we can catch ourselves in the act of procrastination and make a conscious decision to redirect our focus. It also helps us to stay grounded and calm, reducing the anxiety and stress that often trigger procrastination. Incorporating mindfulness into our daily routine can be as simple as taking a few minutes each day to meditate, practice deep breathing, or engage in mindful movement like yoga. By training our minds to stay present and focused, we build the mental resilience needed to resist the pull of procrastination and stay on track with our goals.